So welcome back to the lab. No need to see my ugly face today. Working on all these improvements, using the term loosely. Making lots of brackets. Bracket there, bracket there, bracket there. That's quite a clever one actually. It goes in behind there and hooks over there. There's a bracket there. There's another bracket there. There's a bracket there. There's two brackets here to hold this. There's no brackets on that because there's not actually any real easy mounting points, and it's going to be held by this, which is held by a bracket there. We put some brackets onto this bracket. Anyone think you're watching Project Binky? Anyway, intercooler cooling tubes have moved inside the transmission tunnel to clear up this area here. If you're following us on Facebook, you would have seen these originally. They lived here somewhere. There's one rivet that held them. There's another one down here somewhere. They actually ended up just a little bit lower than this and out in the breeze trying to get some cold air. But realistically, track temp is usually quite high, 30, 40 degrees, something like that. And we're only 100 mils off the tarmac, so they're probably getting a lot of radiant heat anyway. So putting them in fresh air is probably a dumb idea anyway. It might not actually achieve what I was trying to achieve. So they're out of the way and they're in the transmission tunnel, which is going to be hotter than 30, 40 degrees to be fair, but it's going to reduce chances of them getting damaged and reduce any negative impact on the aero, using that term loosely, for under the car. It's not really a flat bottom, but it's kind of sort of close maybe. I talked about earlier on this big brace that runs across the front of the chassis here, a real heavy piece of aluminium. This is all just, I don't know how that's staying there. It's like just hopes and dreams holding it there. So it's got some hoses at the top. It can't fall. That's probably, to be fair, it's probably this little tab here, and the hoses at the top. Oh, there's a couple of screws and stuff, isn't there? Anyway, that's all good. We can take this beastie off and put it on the scales, and look, they've turned off because I took so long. If I push that button, does it zero? That's a nuisance, isn't it? So anyone want to guess what that weighs? It's a big piece of aluminium. It's got some extra holes in it from stuff that we had in the past that we don't use anymore. It's about 5 mils thick. I think it's like 80 by 30. It times up. This will be negative something. 3.3 kgs. I honestly thought it might be heavier than that. It's not going to be heavier than that. That's going to receive the same treatment that's got on. This is the top side. We'll do that to the bottom, except for where those brackets are. One here, one here, where the water pump goes. Those puppies there. You like those? Look alright, don't they? They'll do. They weigh next to nothing. We have put some extra weight into the car, so we need to take some weight out. So we'll do that. And look what turned up. This is our, I call them transistors. Apparently they're called thyristors, but whatever. For our that. It should be, soon that's going to say less of a. And we'll see how we go. If that still blows up, well, we'll just go for that brushless motor conversion. Enough of that. Yep, let's drill some holes. About 300 grams out of it. Needs more holes. Needs to be more like New Zealand's COVID border. Oh, did I say that? Whoops. Holy hell. Apparently I fixed it. If I die when I touch this, oh yeah, no, I'm not dead. Oh, look! It goes! Woohoo! Right, now, let's put this bloody thing here in that and take some weight out of it. Yeehaw! And it's broken again. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually going fine. I've stopped because the motor is getting quite warm. Quite a bit of work going on here. actually nothing that you can see. Oh, there you go. I took a bit off the side here, not where I've joined it. Yes, it's a scrap piece of metal, and yeah, I could start from scratch with something lighter and it'd be heaps easier, but this is way more fun tinkering, right? So leave the bit that's welded. Don't want to machine that down and make it weaker. Pockets out of here, pockets on the top. Look at this. We started at whatever it was. You guys will see on the video. I can't remember. 3.3 kgs and a bit, whatever it is. So it's come down. That's, you know, we're getting there. A bit more, another 500 grams, and that would be a whole kg out of that, which is quite a lot. I reckon I can get 500 grams. I'll probably leave this thing to cool down and have another crack at it in the morning, and it'll be a bit lighter. It'll be good, right? And then we'll find something else to chop up and make lighter and stuff and things. Actually, this whole front end all needs reconfiguring, completely different. This is an aluminium piece, obviously, stuck onto plastic, and we're pretty much stuck with the shape that we've got because of what was in the plastic. It's very hard to make this narrower and make it look even remotely decent. Not saying that what's on there is perfect, but if we tried to make that narrower, you definitely would see a patch type arrangement in here. I was thinking about making a carbon fiber piece to fill the gap in and all that sort of carry on. It's just never going to look even close to good. So we have to start from scratch with that, which I can do at some point in time. We will see. Maybe if I get the compressed air gun and blast that motor and cool it down and hack something else out of this. It's a good idea. Actually quite therapeutic doing this. I mean, I could have probably put a chamfer on here and stuff. There's no reason why I can't do it later. Yeah, cooling that down every now and then. She does seem to get warm. Not doing big cuts. Like this is only 2 mils deep total. Doing about 4 passes to get that on low speed with the big cutter. Big cutter. It's only 20 mils. Machine's rated for that. Kind of almost out of room on my bench. It's quite a big bit of material, but we're only doing little sections. Interesting to see how much it weighs now. Starting to wish I'd started with a solid piece. True story. This piece of material has actually been in all 3 versions of the March. It's been in the original blue body that got destroyed, and it's been in the 2-wheel drive version, and it's now in the 4-wheel drive version. So this has actually done quite a lot of miles. So it's one of the reasons why sometimes I don't just chuck things away and modify them to suit, keep them going. Bit of history there. Right, let's chop this bit here out. Still not broken. Yeah, so it's the light's going away. It's getting late, so clean the bench up, put that back on. I should have weighed this thing without this on here, because that meant that every time I weigh it, I've got to put that back on. Although I did trim, there it is there. I did trim a piece off the front of this that didn't need to be there. It's quite a width, so some grams there. How much? Who knows? Let's turn on the scales. It's definitely lighter. You can feel it when you pick it up. It's not very good for our scales, is it? Oh look, what did we take off then? I can't remember. But that's, you know, we started at 3.3 something, 3.33 or whatever it was. 2.76. It's lighter. Going good. If we keep doing that with things, eventually we'll have a really light race car. It hasn't compromised its ability to do the job that it needs to do. It's quite handy having the thicker material for these tabs. Look at that. Should fix that welding, shouldn't I? It's not very pretty. That hold the radiator. Otherwise you'd need some sort of, you know, a better system than that if you're on thinner material. A couple of mistakes were made when this thing was created back when I was still recovering from quite a large crash. got that one right. So there we go. That's ready to go back on the car, but it can stay on the bench for now. I'll see how I feel when I come out in the morning. We might pocket these areas here as well. I mean, ultimately, like I say, this thing could have been made from probably 1.6 aluminium folded up as one piece. Doesn't necessarily even need this bit on the bottom. Could have started here and gone to there and down. Bit of a Z section, and that would have been fine, and build some brackets that attach to here to hold the radiator. We would have been good as gold, but this is more fun, right? It actually try and avoid beating up the scales. Not that you're even going to see that. This one came out quite nicely. A little bit more patience, a little bit more practice was what I was up to. It's all hand driven, of course, so it's not going to look like a CNC machine did it. That doesn't line up with that. That lines up with that, so that's all right. That doesn't line up with that. And I don't know if that lines up with that. No, not really, eh? So, you know, I could bang that back in the machine tomorrow and give that a tidy up. Not that anyone's going to see it, like I say, but I'll know it's right. Weld in that hole that's not right as well. Alright, that'll do. What have we achieved today? We fixed the milling machine. Yeehaw. That was a, where are they? Couple of, I call them transistors, but other people are calling them thyristors, so who knows. That, and this is a spare gear because it tends to blow those up. Couple of those on the control board, so replace those. Problem solved. Some spare fuses, and somewhere's that other motor which has got good brushes in it, so we fixed that. Yeehaw. Made that lighter. Yeehaw. Made these brackets here. Yeehaw. Made that bracket. I'm going to stop saying yeehaw because you guys will get sick of it. And I made that bracket. So it's amazing how much time it chews up just doing the little things, but we're all pretty good now. To be honest, it needs another one here. I'll possibly do something later on. All right, time to go inside and have a cold drink. It is late. Cheers, boy.